Vicky here with you, and today I'm here to do the use your stash to make some cards. And I've made some painty paper and I'm thinking of making cards with them. I've pulled out some flowers and some of cheesecloth, and I've got some book pages close by, and I just figured we would have fun and just play. I don't know, I've got 5 cards. That's 5 card base. So I'm thinking once that is done, it's done. I do not think I want to put the timer because I need 5 cards. So I might as well just go for it. And now I just realized that I should pull out my big guillotine. It would save me 1 cut if I could cut the full length of this. So I've been using my calendar pages to make this painty paper because I hate to waste. So whenever I have paper like this, I just use it, and that's what I've been doing. So I've been pretty busy doing that. I've got an idea for my Etsy store, and this is gonna go in it, and we shall see how it turns out in the end. Hopefully it's gonna turn out good, and I'm gonna like what I actually make out of this, but I won't share until I've actually finished it. So let's just say it's gonna involve some cards, and I wanted them to be made with my own painty paper. I've also got this can, one of the pieces of paper can, so that I could reuse it and make some more backgrounds of other things. I'd like to make quotes and things like that. I've done ATCs before. I try not to use anything that's copyrighted when I make the painted background, so this way I can actually use it for my own use and multiply it without being scared of copyright issues. Because if you use stencils and stuff, depending on the stencils you use, there might be copyright issues. So have to be careful about that. Okay, so I've got some of my flowers, and I picked out some yellows because I thought, you know, the background has a lot of yellow and green, so they would be pretty on there. And I like the torn edges, so that's how I'm gonna roll. Find it more organic, less stiff. So something like this. Now it's just to have an extra little layer more than anything else. I'm sorry my hands are dirty. I've been making painty paper. That's what I've been doing, and that's what happens. And I can put art guard, but it doesn't stop it from still being a little bit of a mess. So I like the idea of the texture, the same way I do for my covers. I'm thinking that this would make a very pretty card. I'm hoping that you guys are liking this idea. So this is showing you as well that there's no excuse. You don't have to have a lot of money. Those paints can come from the dollar store. You need, in this case I've used blue, green, and yellow, but you could have used just green, just blue and yellow and made your own green. This is from one of those silicone mats. I've also used the stamp that my dad gave me, which has big numbers, but you don't have to use one of those. And then some punchinella to make the white. And then once you've done that, that's basically it. And it's just on a piece of paper that was going to the recycling bin, basically. Because we're talking calendar pages. So nothing fancy, and using a book and cheesecloth, which I purchased at the grocery store for not very much at all at the time that you make the the preserves. That's when I almost did a boo-boo. Need to put my cap back on. There's less of my glue in, so that's why I leave it that way, but I was gonna make a mess here. So here's the first card. Super easy peasy. Of course, the painty paper takes quite a bit of time to make, so you have to allow yourself that extra time. But other than that, it's really not difficult. It's not difficult stuff, it's just that it takes time. When I make painty paper, it takes me, depending on how much I'm making, it can take me up to an hour and a half of the different layers, and just so I don't necessarily show that on the camera because it's a long process, but it's, you know, it's messy and fun, and just it gets you out of your head type of work. So here are all my bases done. So this video could be much shorter. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not counting. I've done much longer ones recently, so even if I do have a shorter one, I won't feel too bad. Plus, I figure it's gonna give you guys a good idea of using different things that you have in your house or readily available, like the you know, books for imagery and just different paints and houseware items to make marks. I didn't use my pill bottle this time, but I could have. I just didn't feel like it. So there's no right way or wrong way of doing this. Like this. And just something like this. Yeah. So I use my Fabric Fix for the fabric. I could use something else, but it's just very quick, and this way I make sure that while I'm doing this on camera that it actually glues. I don't want that cheesecloth to be going anywhere. So they're very soft, but I really like the look of them. I'm hoping that, like I said, that this is something that you will like as well. If you don't, I'm sorry. Just thought it'd be something fun to do. I know that most of the time when I do videos and I share ideas of using stuff that you have easily available, most of you guys love it. So that's what I'm going for this time around too. Hopefully that will be the case. And I so appreciate everybody's comment on learning new things from me. I think it's all stuff that you know. It's just seeing it sometimes put on paper makes a difference. It's all easy stuff that you guys can do. I don't do anything really fancy. You know, sometimes it's hard to get some designer paper, and you might feel that, well, without the designer paper you can't make cards. Well, it's not true. You can make cards, and you're seeing it made here. So you don't have to have the fancy papers that cost a fortune. Or the fancy stamps. This being said, I should use my stamps more. That's also something I want to do more. You keep that one, because that could be pretty for something else. With my purple painty paper, that would be very pretty. And then I can use these, so I'll put that away. That was lucky. There must have been a cat close by. Because when a cat comes by, oh, he has to let his presence be known. But I've told the story here before. It's really funny because the cat have the upstairs, really, and the dogs the downstairs. So when the dogs go upstairs to our bedroom to sleep, they'll pass by the cats and won't see anything. But if the cats come down in the living room while they're there, then that's a different ballgame. Because the living room is their space. So very funny. Okay, so I think I'm going to use it this way. My scissors away, but trim that off a bit. Yes. having all those little leftover type of spidery webs on my glue. So here's the next one. Have to be careful not to put them on top of one another, because until the glue really dries, they're going to stick to one another. Okay, so fortunately I don't have any book page. Do I have a book page? Yeah, I have a book page that's already started. I'm trying to make the cards a bit different. I don't know if you noticed. Just so I don't want them to be all the same design or layout. It's kind of nice to have them look a bit different. Okay, so and this is finally the last one that I'm doing. I think my son wants to speak to me, so it's going to be a good timing. I don't know what he wants. Maybe he wants to know if I'm uploading, but I'm not. Okay, so I put too much glue there, but that's okay because my flower is going to go there. So here we go. So here are my 5 cards. As you can see, they're all a bit different. But I'm hoping that you like them. So I'm looking forward to reading your comments about them and knowing if you're making cards along with me or if you're crafting something else along with me. I always love to know. So that's it. Bye everyone.